Alright, last video for my debate against Kaylee. So, this is my rebuttal. Although Kaylee did attempt to present disadvantages to my solution on education reform, I still stand by my resolution that the federal government should be eradicated from the U.S. public education system. Kaylee herself conceded that Alexander Inglis's book, Principles of a Secondary Education, which I use as the primary reasoning to why this eradication should occur, did indeed address public education problems that are seen in today's society throughout, and even though the text was printed almost 100 years ago, she said that these problems still persist. She agreed with me. The adjustive or adaptive function, the integrating function, the diagnostic function, the selective function, and the propedeutic function are the 6 basic functions of the school that are still applicable to the U.S. education 95 years later. I did offer an alternative to having education controlled by the U.S. government. I suggested that instead of education being controlled by the government, it should be open up to the free market. So that way students would be able to learn in different environments that would, just kind of be more catered to their specific needs and abilities. The way that they were learning could just foster more creativity, like it could just be more creative and informative rather than purely instructional. I also stated that in addition to these new schooling institutions, that some modern schools would remain in order to provide students that work best in that environment to continue that opportunity. And as always, homeschooling would be an option that students and parents have in the matter. The social circumstances would not be so much of an issue because activities, programs, and general opportunities to connect with peers that have similar interests would still be available, and possibly even more so because if you're in a specific schooling that is catered specifically to your type of learning structure, then you might find other students who learn like you and who you would be able to bond with. Also, I would just like you to keep in mind the fact that if we were not under influence in the domination of the federal government, there's a great possibility that we wouldn't even be engaged in a discussion about education reform to begin with. For years, the government has not seemed to satisfy the needs and requests students, teachers, parents, and the nation as a whole are putting out there. The past changes that have been made to the education system have all proven to be unsatisfactory, and each of them has included the federal government. So I am suggesting that we try and remove it from the situation and just possibly see what happens.